G'day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Broker Coach podcast. Our mission is to be the most valuable podcast in the universe for mortgage brokers. I'm your host, Sam Panetta, and today I'm joined by my good friend, Nathan Morgan French from The Good Broker. How you doing, mate?
Good, mate. Good. Thanks for having me.
Mate, it's a pleasure. I've come all the way to Auckland to interview you, mate.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So it feels like 7 o'clock in the morning for me. He's coming off the back of the awards night, so we've caffeinated up and we are good to go. Mate, to put today's conversation into context, your first year at The Good Broker, you guys settled $100 million worth of home loans.
Yeah, close to. Last 12 months anyway.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And you're new to the industry, right?
Yeah. So
when you think about writing 100 mil circa in your first 12 months, does it feel really impressive or you don't know any different?
I don't think it... Yeah, well, it doesn't feel really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's by virtue of being in the broker coach, right? So I was just talking to Dion this morning and we were chatting about how some people love talking numbers and some people don't. And I'm always in there being like, what did you write this month, Dion? What did you write this month? So, so I can follow those people who are ahead. So it doesn't feel that impressive. And I think that's just because I've managed to surround myself with those people.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm stoked about it. You'll remember we set the goals that we set. And I was actually thinking about this before we came in. I've set heaps of goals in business, heaps. Missed most of them, right? I don't know about you, but I've missed most of the goals I've set. As I get older, I feel like I'm making more achievable ones. But yeah, we've pretty much hit them all in this business. So that feels good. That just feels real good.
And do you think being new to the industry has been a blessing or a curse for you, mate?
Blessing, obviously.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
My colleague, senior broker, the one who does all the business in The Good Broker now, Mike.
We've got to shout him out. Mike Hall, we're shouting you out, mate.
Mike.
We're shouting you out.
Yeah. So he says often to me, how valuable it is, because I just look at things through a different lens. What is the word they say about bankers? Institutionalized.
Yeah.
So they've they all think the same because they're all playing off the same playbook. I think about stuff a little bit different.
Love that. Mate, we've got so many questions, dozens and dozens of questions that have come from the broker community. Do you know what I mean? Both here in New Zealand and in Australia. I'm gonna rattle a couple of these off again. This one's going to be really important. How important has paid advertising been to the growth at The Good Broker?
Yeah. Obviously, you know the answer to this. For everyone else, it is literally the backbone of our business.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I started, I didn't feel a lot of people talk about, you want to tap into your network, your friends and family, all that. I didn't feel they know me as the IT guy or the internet guy, right? And I didn't want to be shoulder tapping them and being can I do your mortgage? So when I sort of heard about the paid ad strategies that people use, and I started listening to podcasts very much like this one, started seeing some of your content, and I'd already decided I wanted to do paid ads, but I didn't know how, and I had a lot of mentors saying you can't, or it doesn't, paid ads don't work. The only way is referrals and real estate agents. And
oh, what a fucking terrible piece of advice, man.
Yeah. And that's the bit of content that brought me into your universe, was where you were saying I don't know, something you've got 4 ways to grow on a whiteboard, and paid ads, this is the pros and cons, etc. Paid ads, absolute game changer. I also love creating ads. I love the messing around in the back end of Meta Ads Manager and all of that. But they're the backbone of the business. So pretty much all of our deals have come from there, and then referrals as a result of the customers who have come from there.
And did you have any experience running paid ads before you started The Good Broker?
Yeah, I did quite a lot. Not deep experience, but I'm going to say probably over 10 years ago, I first did my first Google ads for selling phone systems. And then I've helped various friends and family with their paid ads. Like definitely not an expert like a marketing agency, but I've just played around in the back end of ads manager for a very long time.
And how much were you spending at the start, mate, when the business first launched?
$1,500 a month.
$1,500 a month. And how much are you spending today on paid advertising?
A lot more than that. When you say how much, like including consultants and retainers and stuff, or just the ad spend?
Well, how do you split it up? How do you split it up when you paid advertising? Maybe there's marketing agencies. Where does the money go?
Yeah, so I try to do most of it myself, but then when I hit a bottleneck or I like want to implement something I don't know how to do, I get an agency in, and so probably more likely like a freelancer off Upwork. And so right now I reckon we're probably spending $9-10 a month on ads. $1,500 a month on the agency guy. So yeah,
that's pretty reasonable. Do you know what I mean? And if we look at it contextually, what does $1,500 a month look like in terms of lodgements compared to what $10,000 a month spend looks like in terms of lodgements?
I don't know. I feel like I was only like lodging a couple million a month on the 1,500, but it's all on a spectrum because until relatively recently, I'd built, so all through last year, my primary focus was getting the ad funnel and what do you call it? Lead getting machine. Is that what you call it? Yeah. Getting that like running. And then we did some big months and it was all just running perfectly. And like I had not really touched it since November last year. And so as you know, ad cost per lead starts creeping up and up and up and up and up.
Yep.
And so I had just like had other things to focus on in the business, like onboarding a new broker, hiring, credit, all those things. And so it's a long way of saying it depends on how well optimized your ads are. And so I've now like just last week re-optimized my ads. And if we keep getting the same amount of leads that we get, like there's nothing stopping us lodging 30 mil on that ad spend.
Fuck, not bad. $10,000 a month in, 12 with a retainer, let's call it, and you're lodging 30. Like that's not a bad. Yeah. That's not a bad.
We get to do that though. We get to do that, but there's nothing stopping us from doing it. The leads won't be the limiting factor. It'll be
That's an important point. The leads won't be a limiting factor. How powerful is it to know that you've got a tap that you can turn on and get as many leads to as you need at any time on any day?
Yeah, I reckon it's the most underrated thing because there's so many side benefits of having more leads. So it's not just like, okay, cool, I got people to call and do deals for. It's like, okay, I'm not desperate. So none of our team is ever jumping on a call desperate to make a deal work. And so it's like, okay, well, if we're not a right fit, that's all good. I'll call one of the other literally like 40 leads that we haven't called since Thursday because of the awards and whatever else. So there's that. Then there's like onboarding a new team member, right? So Cam, another little shout out.
Cam, shouting you out, mate. Is Cam coming to lunch today?
Yes. Yep.
See you at lunch, Cam.
Yeah. So onboarding new brokers, even Mike, right? You can just be like, here, do 20 reps of phone calls versus like some other brokers who might have started and had to generate their own leads. Mike did 20 phone calls to leads on his first like couple of days. Some of them by month 6 haven't had like 20 fact finds, right?
Yeah.
And so what's epic there is you get the experience, but then you can get coaching. So like Mike will hop off a call. I'll be like, yeah, great call. Or maybe just tweak this one little thing about how you do that. Boom, gets to do it again immediately versus going out to a networking lunch and probably nothing coming from that for 2-3 weeks and like not getting a chance to implement the training. So I reckon, yeah, I can't remember what the question it was. It's like how good is having leads? Really good.
How good is having leads? Really good.
Yeah.
With the sales training that you're talking about there, right, and the reps that it takes, I probably consider you to be a natural salesperson.
Thanks, mate.
It's all right, mate. How important has it been to building a brokerage to having a level of sales skill?
Yeah, massively. Like in previous businesses as well, sales is like everything. but I wasn't a natural salesperson. I've always been like extroverted and loud and whatever, but my first job was a telemarketing job. All my mates were doing double degrees in law and finance, and I'm like, got home from overseas travel, like, oh, what are you doing now, Nate? Oh, telemarketing. So, and I was bad. I remember like I was enthusiastic, like I was, never give up, whatever. But I remember the top sales girl, Jess, shout out, probably won't watch this, sitting me down and being like, mate, you are just so chaotic. Like, you've got to solve all these different things. And then I got it. So it was probably, I'm very blessed to have had the training that I had.
Can it be taught? Can it be trained?
Yes, absolutely.
How much of sales skills are natural and inbuilt, and how much of sales skills is teaching and training?
I reckon like almost 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you think if you got someone who was maybe a little bit introverted, who had never done a sales call before in their life, do you think if you could bring them in and sit them down, you could teach them to be a good salesperson?
If they had the right attitude, yeah.
If they had the right attitude.
Yeah.
And when you think of what good sales looks like, what does that look like to you, Nave?
Oh, big question. One of my favorite topics, actually, that I haven't talked about for a while. I talk about financial advice. But what does good sales look like? Like listening, like understanding the customer. Mm-hmm. So like sales maxim, like you can't close a door that you never opened. So like getting to know the person. Like everyone focuses on like objection handling and like the close and the pitch, and it's like none of that shit matters if you don't nail the first 5 seconds of the call and then you don't nail the next 5 minutes of the call.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, good sales is just being enthusiastic, understanding the prospect, understanding what their problems are, and understanding their goals, and then just matching. Like, it's real natural once you know who they are, what they want to achieve, and you're like, oh, you a normal person who doesn't have a retirement plan and wants a mortgage or has a mortgage and wants a better deal. It's very natural then for the rest of it to work, But yeah, I think, people have all these connotations about sales being like this fast talking, enthusiastic person, which there are some really good salespeople like that, like Mike. But there's underneath the fast talking and enthusiasm, there's the important bit that people miss, which is like actually understanding what the people want. Because like, imagine if I pitched you something you don't want. Doesn't matter how good sales I am. Do you want to stop smoking meat and fucking eat broccoli for a living?
Nah.
Doesn't matter how good I am at selling. You're not going to do it,
And do you think even if you did close somebody who wasn't the right fit, it's never going to work out? Like, that's just going to become turmoil for everybody involved. You know what I mean? So I think having that right fit, and then saying, hey, I think we're the right fit, we should do some business together. That's the crux of it, isn't it? Is actually making sure the person's going to get value out of the thing that you sell.
Yeah. Which is, again, another benefit of like having so many leads, because you're not trying to make shit fit that doesn't fit.
So if you've got 40 leads there to call for that particular week or that particular day, and 20 of them are the right fit and you can move forward with them, et cetera, et cetera. But if you only had 3 leads and none of them are the right fit, people are trying to put a square peg in a round hole. Yeah. Okay.
Which is like, and that doesn't make them a bad person or bad at their job. They're just trying to make like scale of 1 to 10. How good of a fit is this? This person might be a 5. And if you've got 3 leads, you're going to do your best to make that work, right? But like with us, we refer a lot of our stuff out. It's like, sorry, we're not the right person for that. Like, go to these guys.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. You are experimenting with AI advertising.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? Because this is going to blow some mind.
Yeah, what do you want to know?
I want to know everything.
Also, like, I've been doing AI advertising for ages. Like, Claude and ChatGPT writes all the copy, and you just sort of try and make it a bit more human and helps with the concepts. But I'm guessing you're talking about the videos.
I'm talking about the videos.
Yeah. So like I said, I'd neglected our marketing campaigns for a while. Like, we've spent over $100,000 in the last 16 months since January last year. And but I'd neglected them since November, and so the cost per lead was going up and up and up and up and up. And I'd paid this marketing consultant to help me do like a VSL funnel, so like a real video, and I just never got around to it. And I started recording them and started editing them, and ADHD brain's fucking running off over here. And I reckon I probably in aggregate spent about 10 hours trying to do just like one little short video ad, but never just got progress because I couldn't focus on it. And then someone pitched me to do AI videos for me, and he pitched me as sort of retainer. And I was genuinely interested in getting him to do it for me, because if someone can do something for me that plugs into my business where they're better, I'll do it. But his model was wrong in that he wanted to own the platform that it was done in. I'm like, bro, if you can charge me a setup fee, I'll do it. But anyway, so we couldn't make a deal work. And I'm like, well, fuck, I like the idea. I'm going to try it out. So I just sort of hyper-focused, ADD obsessed over it for a few days. It was painful, but yeah, we just built some videos, and they sort of look like me, a little bit prettier than me, because like that's important. But it looks kind of like me, just saying some stuff.
How many Pretty Nathan AI videos came out?
Oh, only, so it's way harder to make them than I thought, right?
Really?
Way harder, yeah.
Is it easy to just film them?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, right. That's madness.
Yeah, so, well, I don't know. So we're still in the experimentation stage, right?
Yes,
like I launched the first one last week. But so only 2 done. Is it easier to film them? Probably. But what I'm hoping is that it'll be easier to like scale out content with like just boom, chuck a new hook on. New idea? Cool. So I can add it into my like magical AI video pipeline that I hopefully build one day. But yeah, it took ages. The biggest thing was the accent, the Kiwi accent.
Yeah.
It would like switch to an Aussie accent, and then like the longer the video, sometimes it would even switch to an American accent, and you get like most of the way through editing it, and you change one thing like in the script, and then it would regenerate the voice for it all, and it'd just be fucked. And it's like, oh, I've just spent hours getting this like 30-second clip good, and then it cooked itself. So yeah. It's a learning process, but I think it'll be good.
I wonder if you chop it up into parts, that maybe it you know what I mean? Like do a couple of bodies, smash 10 or 20 hooks, and just, chop them all together. Yeah,
which is obvious. I'm guessing you've done this before, but with real videos, right?
I haven't done it myself personally, but I've seen it done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and so I'm just learning this stuff. Like I've heard Alex Hormozy talk about doing exactly that. But yeah, figuring it out.
How long does one of these videos go for, just as an example?
20 seconds.
20 seconds. And to create those 20 seconds, obviously it's been taken a lot longer now because you're in the learning phase. But once you've got your head wrapped around it, how long you reckon it would take?
I reckon a couple of minutes.
A couple of minutes
once we nail it. I think. I hope.
And so you could just, you want to refresh, spend an hour refreshing, 20 new ads, bang, plug them into Meta, run it, and see how they perform.
Hopefully, yeah. But I mean, I'm conscious that it's probably a short-term thing. Like people are going to get sick of, like we're already sick of like AI slop text, right? And I think people are going to get real sick of like. Have you've seen the videos? Yeah,
I saw it. They're pretty good.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's me. You know how you don't like the sound, or pretty me. You know how you don't like the sound of your own voice. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's like just seeing a fake version of you. It just gives me the ick a little bit, and I feel like it will. Just like how you see LinkedIn posts with like the M dashes in them and the like cheesy, clearly AI written things. I imagine that we're going to get there with that, but I don't know. I'm hoping it's good.
Yeah, it's a good shout. Actually, it's a good shout. Where over time, if people consume too much of it, they might get to the point where they they end up detesting it, or they've had enough of it. They don't have an appetite for it. But I wonder, the other counteracting force there is, if the AI videos get better and better and better, does that give it longevity? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. Hopefully.
It's an interesting space.
Yeah,
it's a very interesting space.
It's fascinating. We'll see.
All right, let's go to get the questions answered for the crowd. Ooh, this is a good one. new to industry, right? And you had to learn the craft of writing home loans.
Yeah.
How steep was the learning curve for you to learn how to actually put a deal together?
Well, there was a lot to learn
Mm.
because like I didn't have my own mortgage. Like
So you were completely fresh to home loans.
completely fresh to home. I'd help my parents out.
Mhm.
Well, so like I ever since a very young age been very interested in like finance and personal finance, and so I definitely had like helped my parents like do stuff with their bank. I've never dealt with a broker,
Mhm.
but do stuff directly with the bank, and yeah, just sort out various things. So I had a understanding of like what a security was. That's about it. But I kind of decided I might want to do this about 12 months before I did it. So I sold the last business,
Mhm.
did almost 12 months of traveling, and I was thinking about what I'm going to do. And this was right up the top. And so I was sort of workshopping this with Mike for 12 months, just over dinners and messages and stuff. So I don't know. I feel like the learning curve didn't feel that steep.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'd never done a personal loan for myself. I'd never done one for anyone else. You may remember our first calls when I was like, "Oh yeah, so what's the next step after this one?"
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah. So it was steep, but like definitely not the hardest part. Like the easiest part, actually.
The actual writing of the home loans was the easiest part of the
so-
business.
The understanding how to do it,
Yes.
the easiest part.
Was the easiest
Yeah.
part. What was the hardest part in contrast?
Well, so the hardest part for me with writing the loans is the repetitive nature of it. So,
Mhm.
like, once I did my first several, I just got sick of the tedious bits of it. Why is that funny?
Because there's going to be brokers listening to this and they've just written hundreds of loans. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And Nathan's like, I've done 4 loans. I was like, fuck this, no more loans for me.
It was more than 4.
How many was it? How many
I-
loans until you're like, this is not the place that I want to play in this business? I'm going to have a different role here.
Yeah, well, it actually kind of changed when Mike came in.
Yes.
So, like, I reckon if I was still the only broker and I was just building it, I'd be building a different business. I'd be
Mhm.
building like more of a support team around me.
Mhm.
I'd probably potentially still be enjoying it.
Mhm.
But when Mike came in and he could do it as well as, and then better than, and he enjoyed it more than me, it was like, fuck, I'm in like doing the wrong thing. And then when like my mind is, I mentioned the optimizer thing earlier, when my mind is like, this is not the optimal place for you to be working, it just switches off. Like if I'm having to do something tedious, like explain to the assessor for the 12th time that the information they're asking for is in the diary note, my brain just turns off and I just don't even bother replying to that email, and then 2 days go by. And so, yeah, that's the bit of stuff I find tedious when I know there's better use of my time.
Let's talk a little bit here about the team, mate, that you mentioned there. So
Sorry.
what happened?
How many loans did I write before it got tedious?
Yes.
Probably 60.
Okay. So still a shitload of loans.
Yeah.
Like so that was 60 loans in a relatively short period of time. How long was that it took to write the 60 loans?
10 months?
Yeah, about 10 months.
9 months,
I
maybe?
reckon. Yeah,
Yeah.
9 months. 9 months.
Yeah, I have to check trail.
Yeah.
CRM.
When did you start hiring, mate?
When did I start hiring? So I started recruiting before I even launched the business.
Mhm.
So I knew from listening to podcasts that I wanted to have, and because I know about my own personality, that I wanted to have like a loan processor or a loan support person early.
Mhm.
And so I started, 2 months before I spoke with my first customer, just reaching out to people when I was still doing my level 5 certificate thing, reaching out to people being like, hey, I'm about to build my next thing. Would you be interested in being employee number 1?
And what did you hire for first?
Support, offshore support.
Offshore support. And
Leah.
shout out Leah.
Yeah. So she handheld me a lot. And maybe that's why one of the reasons the learning curve wasn't so high for me is I had her hand holding me. I had you hand holding me. I had Mike hand holding me. I had Stu, my other mentor, hand holding me. So, yeah.
Did you always know in business to get people to help you along the way, or is that?
No, I didn't. Learned.
When did you start getting people in to help? Because you've mentioned even in this podcast a couple of times, we've had this problem, you got this person to solve it, had this problem, you got this person to solve it. When did you start doing business in that manner, sort of the old, who, not how mentality?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. You know how most things is like a light bulb moment happen?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I think I was just real stressed in my first business. Oh, not first, but first successful business. Real stressed. And I was just like, I need someone to like help me. And I'm like early mid-20s. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Why am I building a fucking telco? And so I was just real stressed, and I just wanted someone to like almost like a life coach. And a mate of mine who I really respect, he had mentioned a guy who sort of coached him a little bit. And I tested that out, and it was really like just game changer. Well, you know what it's like. That's why you do what you do, right? So yeah, it was just a game changer. And then I'm like, shit, if I can pay people to shortcut the process, I'm gonna spend as much money as I can to do that.
And you mentioned last night, mate, that you work with a lot of different coaches. What parts of your life had mentors or coaches or any of these sorts of people come into your life? And
just about everything.
Really?
Yeah. So I've got a PT who I still see 2 days a week. That's almost like accountability. He's a really good PT as well.
Yeah.
But it's almost just like an accountability. I won't not show up when there's someone who's going to be there. So unfortunately, I need to pay to hold myself accountable. So yeah, PT, business coach, couples coach. What else? Not a coach, but going to sound pretty privileged. But like meal prep person, someone to do like cleaning and stuff around the house. I did a LinkedIn post about it. Just fucking anything that you can get coaching on, I'll get coaching on. Marketing coach.
And so, like, do you look at something in your life and be like, hey, there's a gap between basically what I want this to be and where it is, and I'm going to get someone to come in and help me identify and plug the gap? Yeah. Okay. How old were you when you started doing that sort of stuff?
Oh, well, I've only started really doing it like heaps since I sold the last business, because I didn't have a lot of money until then. Yeah.
That's a good question for you. Obviously, you sold that last business. You've done really well out of that telco, and you've come into the brokerage with capital, right? With cash. What's the difference between growing a business when you've got cash and growing a business when you don't have so much of it?
Yeah. It's night and day. Way less stressful. I reckon I'd have way more here if I had the capital. Night and day difference. The industries are also real different. Like telco's very capital intensive. Brokerage, very low capital like intensity. Like you could start it with $5,000 if as long as you got low personal expenses. Like you don't need much to start being a broker. But like a lot of the stuff that we've achieved, we wouldn't have been able to achieve without having the cash behind, because it's like, leads aren't working right now. Don't have time to like master the marketing funnel, but I do have money to double the ad spend. So just little things like that. You just, you know how like, I don't know about you, but for me, I often, like I was saying before, have 100 things that I just think I want to get done and only get 1 or 2 done. If I can just pay someone to like get them done. Example, shareholders agreement with Mike. We agreed on a high level on our terms in August last year. And nothing's really changed about the terms, but like finding the time to actually get the document executed. We did it on Claude and ChatGPT and like fucked around, tried to do it in our spare time. And then we finally, in like January or February this year, just went and saw a lawyer who charged us a lot of money, but, held us accountable, solved those little 1% things that we weren't aware of, and just got it done. So, yeah, having the cash makes it way easier. But I'm also grateful that I did it the no cash way, because it sort of like breeds innovation.
Yeah, a little bit of Street Fighter mode where the only way to get the thing done is to roll up your sleeves.
More hours.
How many hours do you work, mate?
Not many now. Not many, like 40 probably.
Yeah, you work a normal week.
Yeah,
you work a normal week.
Like in front of my computer.
Yeah.
But this is it. Yeah, I love business. Like I don't have many hobbies. Like I have tennis and I have business, and I never turn the brain off. So like the people I choose to catch up with on the weekend happen to also have businesses. So like I'm constantly thinking about the business and workshopping it. But in front of the desk, 9 to 5.
I think when you're in business, man, you love the thing. Like we went out with a couple of the guys last night when I arrived in Auckland. We went out for dinner and we talked shop for 3 hours. It wasn't on purpose. It wasn't on purpose, but that's what you're interested in. That's the topic that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Of course, when you sit with other people at a table that are passionate about the same topic, you're going to fall into that conversation. And I think that's all right. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Like, and there's the thing. So sometimes like I'll put my daughter down and if I've got a client I need to do something for, I'll do it. And if not, I'll do some AI video stuff, and like just depends. Like, but it doesn't feel like the work I do outside of work hours, outside of the 9 to 5, doesn't feel like work. It's a hobby. It's something I want to do.
Yeah. So there's you're doing different work. If you're plugging away a couple of hours at night, it's not your typical running of the brokerage stuff. You're doing other things.
Yeah.
An example using the AI videos.
Yeah, or integrating with the CRM provider's API for whatever new distracting thing I'm doing.
Are you a very techie bloke, mate?
Compared to people in the finance industry, yes. Yeah.
Finance guys are not tech guys. There's exceptions, right? Where's Julian Fayard? He's a finance guy, he's a tech guy. But most people in finance are not tech guys.
Nah. Yeah, shockingly low tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in my last industry, I've growing up I was interested in computers and stuff, but I never got hardcore into coding or network engineering. And so I hung out with all the really clever network engineer guys, but it was all way over my head. So I kind of always felt like I'm struggling to keep up with what these guys are saying, how all these things work. Whereas in this industry, I'm shocked even by some of the product vendors. Yeah. Relatively technical compared to the finance industry.
Oh, right. Let's have a little crack here at the list. Ooh. How do you know when to hire someone, mate?
How do you know? When you tell me to. Slowly learning.
You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to have that as the answer.
How do you know when to hire people? It is though. So it's either when you tell me to, or when somebody else that I follow. I'm just following a framework.
Mm-hmm.
When do you know when to hire people? When capacity starts drying up, I guess. I don't want to have more. Right now we're supply constrained. So we've got heaps of leads and we just can't
service the leads.
We can't service them quickly enough. And so ideally we don't get into that position again. I'd prefer to be demand constrained because that's what I'm good at. You
can turn it up.
Yeah, I'm not exceptional at building a delivery engine in a business.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, early is when to hire people, I guess. Before you need them.
But you've had lots of experience onshore hires, offshore hires, right?
Yep.
What are your thoughts between the two? How do you make the decision whether a role's an offshore role or an onshore one?
Yeah, good question. How do you make that decision? So I'm good at training people at sales. But I'm not good at training people at really anything else. And so I just hire for experience. So Leah, my offshore support team leader, very experienced. She's been doing this for 7+ years, maybe longer. Sorry, Leah, depending on how long it is. And so, just hire for people who have experience. And so my first 3 hires were offshore. And then Mike finally came and joined me once I finally stopped pitching him to come join me. And that just sort of happened naturally. And then our next hire, who starts next weekish, 25th, is onshore, and she just has experience that you can't hire offshore. So,
mate, you've said something here that's really important, where you've acknowledged that you're really good at training people on sales, but not so good at everything else. And so when you're hiring sales roles, you can bring them in and train them fresh. But then when you're not hiring for sales roles, you're using money instead of time to pay for the experience. Do you know how profound that is?
Oh, you just told me to do it. No. Sorry. But well, like, you have told me to do this before, right?
Yeah, but it's the element where there's a piece of the puzzle that you can train the sales skill up on.
Yep.
You know that you're good at it. You've got a proven track record of it. And you're making a distinction there where a lot of business owners will either just train everyone from scratch, or they'll get everyone in the team to be experienced. But you're hiring experience where you don't have it, and you're training people up where you think you can actually produce a better result than going out to the marketplace and trying to buy it.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking pinch that because that's real smart, Dave.
Cool. Thank you. I thought you you told me to hire experience, but I get what you mean about the actually
sale.
Doing the sale. Yeah,
about the sales.
Yeah, well,
stuff.
I don't want to hire experienced salespeople.
That's what I mean. Like, dive deeper into that.
Bad habits, like someone who's just been doing sales all their life will, not all, but more likely to have bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, I've tested hiring, got one banker hire who's absolutely crushed it. Cam, starting out new to industry, think he's going to crush it. Hopefully he does. And so I've tested both of those sort of hires and onboardings. And so what I think I want is ex-bankers. No offense, Cam. He's my cousin. I can talk shit about him. It's all good. Is for the next few anyway, until I can do like bulk intakes where the new to industry people take a lot more training, because like the learning curve's real steep if you're learning sales and you're learning banking. What I haven't hired though is a sales gun with no banking experience. So maybe we test that. But sorry, back to your question. Why do I not want experienced salespeople? Yeah, bad habits. Like, sort of want them. There's a lot of different people with a lot of different perspectives on what sales is. And I would rather have someone without preconceived ideas to be like able to teach them what we think good sales is. Because to me, good sales is just good communication. But a lot of, there's a lot of ram it down your throat sales guys and whatever else. So I just don't want to deal with that.
I don't even know if that would work in mortgages. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there's so much friction on behalf of the client to do a mortgage.
It doesn't work in any industry though. Really. Like, it works in the short term, but you just get upset clients and upset everything. Yeah,
it doesn't work in the long term. But I think there's probably some other industries where you could do a transaction because there's very little workload required on behalf of the client. Where mortgages, there's still paperwork. There's still, do you know what I mean? There's still a lot of stuff. So it'd be very hard to drag someone kicking and screaming to do a mortgage. You don't accidentally buy a mortgage. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I reckon some people have accidentally bought cars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Definitely made high pressure, rush decisions. You're not making a too rush decision on a mortgage.
100%. Mate, how are you going to scale the broker model out this next part of the business?
Just hire lots more brokers. How am I going to scale it out? What do you mean?
What's the plan? What are we looking for in a broker that's going to come in and work at the good broker?
Ideal team player. Hungry, humble, smart. That's all we're looking for.
How important is it to work with people that you know, like, and trust?
That is like the best part of this. So, as I've mentioned, Mike, one of my very good mates, Cam, one of my cousin, one of my favourite cousins.
Good save.
And it's like critical because I want to do this for a while, and I have a young daughter, wife is pregnant. I don't want any unnecessary stress from business. Like there'll be stress because, I've got goals and things go wrong. but I don't want like people stress. So working with people that I like is like the most important thing. And where we're just so blessed, like Mike messages me regularly, and it's now a joke we do between the team because he says it so often, but like, I fucking love this. I love this game. Like that's like the Mike line is I fucking love this game. And we all do. And so my hope is that we grow the business. My goal and intention is that we grow the business and that stays. I'd rather have a small business where we've got that than a big business where we don't.
When the people that you've got, like Cam, Mike, stuff like that, and even a lot of the other guys that you've hired, you've known them, right? You've had this time tenure with them that you've figured out before they've even started with you that you know, like, and trust this person.
Yeah.
How do you do it for someone who is new to your universe, someone you've never met before, you've only met them to come into the Good Broker?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm an expert at it.
Uh-huh.
So like Leah, didn't know her before she started, and she's been instrumental. In fact, like the two other people in the loan processing team just worked with Leah in the past. And so, and Kay, can we edit that out? No, yeah, as long as this airs after she starts. Never met her before. Like just met her through the recruitment process. But yeah, how do you do it? I don't really know. Just look for people with experience. Like I have like a real small framework from books I've read about hiring, like the scorecard from some book, the Hungry, Humble, Smart thing. And I just sort of, see, like, do I want to work with this person? So thing number one, do I want to work with them? And then can they do the job?
So it's just a simple framework like that.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to work with this person? And you make your best judgment for the amount of time that you've spent with them. If someone gives you the ick, they're fucking done.
Yep.
If you're like, nah, this person actually seems all right, we're gonna.
And then I harass them. Like, if I
what the fuck? What do you mean?
If I want them to work with me, I just send them a message every couple of weeks, being like, "Okay, should we talk about you coming to join the Good Broker again?" And then like,
And you said there's no natural sales skill, mate. Do you know what I mean? You're hunting down
learn skill though.
Oh, learn skill to just follow up no matter what. If it's a client, if it's a prospect for a team member, no matter what.
Yeah. So my old man, not a sales guy, is a lift technician, but he taught me at a young age, and it's stuck with me. You don't ask, you don't get. Right. And so I think it was in the context of something at school, and like if you don't ask, you don't get. So just ask, and then so you do that, and then that was helpful in sales as I moved on. But like, I don't know. A lot of people like this real like, oh, organic, it'll come to me type thing. I'm like, fuck that. If I want the person to work with me, I'm sending them a video message being like, have you thought about it again? Or I sent somebody a picture last night. So we're at the awards, right? Got a photo with me and two guys who know the person I want to join the team. And so take a photo, chuck it in Gemini with his photo off LinkedIn, and go add this guy into the photo. So he's added into the photo with us. And then send him that. And then I send him, with Mike's permission, like a way that he can see how much Mike has earned since he's been here. And so it's just like, you know, you have funny ideas about like how you should reach out to people. I'm just fucking impulsive and I just do it. Like, oh, we should do that. You know, like a lot of times you'll say like, oh, we should send that. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't do it. I'm just like, fuck yeah, that's a good idea. Like we're sending that thing.
How much of business is art, not science, mate?
I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know.
Because think about what you're saying. You know, you saw this opportunity to do this photo, then you edited it, and you've put in this element of, you know, what Mike's earning, and you've sent it to this person because you want to give them on board. You fucking can't textbook train that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think that's just like once you don't give a fuck anymore. And like it became really easy for me once I sold. Well, I finally, because I had like most business people, like imposter syndrome, right? Like I was running this telco. I wasn't an engineer. I really heavily relied on the technical people. I was just, you know, a dude who left school and became a telemarketer who all of a sudden is running this like pretty complex regulatory and technical business. Mm-hmm. And so I had heaps of imposter syndrome. And like I did stuff kind of like this. I managed to get to like a level of I don't give a fuck. But yeah, I think that's what that is. It's just like, once you don't care, it's just like, this is fun. Like I find business so fun. And it's just like, that makes it even more fun, like sending that picture or whatever.
Do you think after you sold that last business and you proved it to yourself that you're not actually an imposter, that you could be more like yourself when you were doing business?
I think so. Yeah.
That's crazy, eh? Like, I get it. I get how that works. It's like, hey, fuck, I can be myself because look what I accomplished.
And that's like, what's interesting about that is I think a lot of people before that would have already said that I'm like a bit weird in terms of like not so professional, you know, like I try to be my real self already. But yeah, that definitely took it to another level.
Love. All right. So, there's a couple of good ones here. Mate, we spoke earlier heaps about the ads, right? And I know we were having some conversations last night. People have fear around running ads.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I love you, mate.
Shout out, you know who you are. What would you tell someone that's scared to run ads?
What I told him is how much in the mortgage game. Yeah. How much is a settlement worth to you?
Mm-hmm.
And just think of your ad spend in settlements. Don't think of it in dollars. Just think of it in like how much it's worth to you. And like for me, when I started the business, again, lucky I had capital behind me so I could do this. I didn't actually care if my ads were like highly profitable on day one because there's elements of enterprise value that you're building, like with Trail, which there's less of that in New Zealand now. But with just getting volume through the system so that you can improve the business, right? And so like when I think of ads for a lot of brokers, particularly brokers who are like guns, like the person we're talking about is a way more experienced broker than me, right? And if he just had more appointments, the business is just going to grow so hugely. And so the thing would just be like, don't look at it in dollar value. Look at it in
like widgets.
Well, like $3,000 is one settlement, or like less, right? $3,000 is like half a settlement, depending on the types of settlements.
Yeah, well, you probably, call it 0.6 at 500 grand loan size, $3,000 in Aussie. I think it's a bit higher over here in NZ. We got you're getting no less trail and you're higher upfronts. But even that's materially lower than the average loan size anyway. Do you know what I mean? So 3 is a pretty conservative number for upfront commissions on a home loan.
And so that's how I try and get them to think about it. Is like, okay, if you know your numbers, so I talked to him about his numbers. I'll tell you what I said to him. I was like, cool, what's your conversion rate on your existing ad? And he's like, 25 to 30%. Cool. What's your cost per lead? And he's like, about $100. And I'm like, yeah, fuck, that is quite expensive per lead. But you're telling me it costs you $400 to get a settlement
deal.
Like, bro, that is not optimal, but you should still 5x your ad spend because you're going to get lots more deals and then you can pay a consultant to optimize the thing. So yeah, I definitely reckon like imperfect volume is probably like where you want to start, like you talk about with content, which I suck at. But
no, you're smashing content. I've seen it. I've seen it coming up. I'm watching.
Yeah. Yeah, imperfect volume, and then you can fix it later. Like you can optimize it later, which is something I struggle with. But yeah.
And it's always been a little bit taboo, I think, in the mortgage industry, running paid ads and stuff like that. And I don't know if it's because historically it has been this, if you want business, go talk to your dad's accountant, like fucking, all right, 1989. Like, what am I going to do with that advice?
Yeah.
And then I think the other element of it is that slow cash conversion cycle in a mortgage business where a lot of people just don't want to cop it, mate. Like if it's 122 days on average, whatever the number is, to get from lead to money in the bank, a lot of people probably don't want to burn cash for 120 odd days.
And that's just a mindset thing, right? Like 120 days, that 4 months?
Yeah.
Say you spend, I would encourage everyone, and I do, the newbies in the paid ads chat and broker coach crew, I'll encourage them just like fucking pay an agency $1,500 a month. You've interviewed a bunch of them, but get them to build it for you, like not vendor lock you in. But pay them $1,500 a month, spend 3.5 on ads. worst case scenario, you've burned 20 grand in 4 months and not got a settlement. But I don't see how that's possible if you're hiring an agency who only works with brokers. You can't not get a settlement off, you know?
Surely.
It's nearly impossible. But this is the other thing that you said to me is like a paid ad lead is harder to sell than a referral from your dad's accountant.
It is, yeah, 100%.
So they do need to fix that.
I think I've seen paid advertising get better where it's converting higher, right? Where the creatives are getting better, so conversion rates are going up, targeting's getting, more micro. I actually think that's where paid ads are going, where, this sort of high volume, low quality lead, I feel like it's probably going, people are getting better at getting better quality leads off the back of paid advertising.
Yeah, but only the ones willing to spend money to test it.
Yeah. Fuck, you can't build a thing without spending money, mate.
No, yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's the sad thing is the people who like when you want to try and convince people to run ads, it is an investment. Like you have to that 20 odd grand that you're spending across ad spend and consultancy, like the outcome you're looking for isn't just settlements. And so this is where it's like, if that breaks even, if you make 20 grand extra in settlements, you're so far up because you've learned 4 months of how ads work. And it's just about building a lead gen part of your business. That's the asset, right? The asset is that I can flick a switch when a new broker starts and get more leads for them.
And this is like massively undervalued. Do you know what I mean? You've seen how fast you've been able to grow your business because you can produce more lead flow and stay oversubscribed at any given time. Like if you hired someone tomorrow, you could turn the ad spend up tomorrow, and
within reason. But
within reason. But if you didn't have that, if you were relying on your dad's accountant to send you a lead, you can't go there when you've got the next hire and say, "Hey, we need 40 leads next month," because Shano's starting. You know what I mean?
And then that means that you can't put people on a salary because you're scared. Fucking worry about 3 months worth of ad spend, 3 months worth of salary is pretty scary if there's no leads coming through.
100%, mate. So you talk a lot about sort of ADHD and the role that has played in your journey.
Yeah,
unpack that for me, mate, because there's heaps of guys in the industry with ADHD, probably me included. And what impacts has it had on you, mate?
So firstly, I'm not actually formally diagnosed with ADHD.
No.
But anyone who's watching this can probably informally diagnose me. What impact? Oh, well, I fucking bite off more than I can chew regularly.
Mm-hmm.
That's the negative side. The gift is like impulsivity means that you are just quick to do shit. The time from idea to execution is like nothing because you're impulsive. And so it means that I take more shots on goal, which is real good. It also, because I'm aware of it now, I can hire around it, right? So like I've got like a few babysitters who like just make sure that Nathan doesn't fuck anything up too badly. So like 2 people have access to my emails. They like check in and send me the same to-do list 4 days in a row before they go, Nath, 4 days, mate, it's the same fucking thing. Like, let's get it done. So it probably has more of a bad effect on my team, but like they know me, and like I tell people that up front. If they're going to be affected by my ADHD, I'll let them know. What other impacts has it had? Just means I'm like curious. What is that Aussie guy died recently? Cool Ray.
Yeah.
He's got a real good reframe on ADHD and dyslexia, which he had both. And it's something along the lines of like dyslexia gives me the ability to see the world in a different way, which gives me the ability to solve problems in a way that other people can't, or something like that. I feel like I'm butchering this. Probably should just cut in the real one. And ADHD just gives me like an untapped amount of focus to do. Yeah, I'm butchering it. I'm too tired and hungover. But it gives me that hyper focus, right? So I decided, like, poor Cam and Mike are in the office with me and we're doing some stuff, and I just decided on Monday last week, okay, I'm going to try these fucking AI ads, right? And then I just spent all day, every day, other than like this critical client stuff that I had to get back to. I was doing that to the point. A marketing guy who works in our office can help us with some like email marketing stuff was literally just cracking jokes at me like, how's the fucking same thing as you? Would it have just been quicker to record these, mate? But yeah, it gives me that ability to just hyper focus. Nothing else exists. I'm just like doing the thing that I'm doing if I'm doing something fun. And then the downside is if I'm doing something I don't enjoy, I struggle with it. But that's even a blessing because then you can outsource it. Like you can go or delegate it.
Mm-hmm. Was there, like, can you pinpoint a time where there was a line drawn in the sand where you didn't recognize your own personality traits and it hindered you, and to the point where you said, okay, this is what I'm like, so I'm going to build my life in a way like this, and it began to help you?
Yeah. I don't remember a point in time, but if I look back, it was probably in my first business when I just kept like fucking things up, just like, yeah, made a lot of mistakes in that business. And actually, probably where it became really clear is that I had a business coach lady, ex-psychiatrist, who has not formally diagnosed me with ADHD because she's not a psychiatrist anymore. But she was talking to me about some of the stuff. And so I had this team member, her name was Rox, and she was like the yin to my yang. So like she's just kind of like my wife, my work wife. Like my wife is also ridiculously organized. Like we came to this conference, everything that I needed was packed for me. And it's like, hey babe, you didn't happen to like pack my Kindle, did you? And she's like, yeah, it's on your thing. It's like, oh, fucking sweet. And so, yeah, I think maybe just got lucky in that regard. I guess that's like the opposites attract thing. And then, yeah, so I was talking through the business with the coach and she's like, yeah, you just need like to always have somebody like that to help you solve that thing. So, yeah, I'm going to say 8 years ago from a coach.
Yeah, fuck, this is crazy. Is it... I've always said, like, you know how kids consume knowledge and they just learn at a rapid pace. You've seen, you got, you know what I mean? You got a little one, you got another one on the way.
Yeah, it's
and
outrageous.
the way that they grow, I've been fond of saying, if you were an adult and you continued to grow at that pace, fuck, you'd be unstoppable. Do you know what I mean? But most adults don't. I think they probably get to a point where they slow down on how much they continue to learn, if that makes sense.
Yeah. 100% they do. Like they get institutionalized, like in a bank. Love the banks, by the
way. No one unaccredit him, all right? He doesn't mean what he says.
No, I genuinely do love the bank. Obviously, we wouldn't have a business without them. But yeah, like the big organizations, like they do, like a lot of people have like 40, 50-year careers in banks. So there's obviously something good in the banks.
Yeah.
But you do stop learning because like you're operating in that same system over and over.
There's no need to go outside of the rhythm that becomes comfortable, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where I feel like that's harder in business. Do you know what I mean? I feel like in business you probably have to continue learning a little bit. I've seen it when people stop learning, the world changes too quickly when you're in business. Like it's a competitive pursuit.
Yeah. And it just like every time you grow, there's like some new thing that you don't know how to do, right?
Yeah. But even if you stay the same size, you're like, hey, we're going to stay the same size, the competitive forces in the outside world will wither that down. It can't stay it will get withered down.
You're either growing or you're dying.
That's the thing. Do you know what I mean? Because there's other forces at play that are coming to fucking take someone else's lunch. Like that's business. It does have a competitive element to it.
Yeah, 100%.
What has been your biggest challenge in business, mate?
Organisation. Yeah, it's probably something I should get some coaching on. Is my identity around lack of organisation. Like I acknowledge that I am impulsive and not that well organised, but then people like friends, family go, well, you are actually quite organised. Like you've built these organizations. But yeah, probably that. Definitely that.
And
Also harshness. I can be.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Tell me.
Wow. I can just be harsh.
Harsh on you or harsh on others?
Well, both, but
Mhm.
the one that is worse is on others. Where I like, if I'm harsh on me, that's on me.
Mhm.
But if I'm harsh on others, that's not really fair, right? So, yeah, it can be like a bit harsh sometimes.
Have you become less harsh over time?
Yeah. I try and be mindful of like all of my, as many of my like weaknesses as possible. And so, yeah, the harshness. Saw a thing on Instagram the other day, and it's like, there's no redeeming quality to harshness. Like there's nothing that harshness achieves that like stern compassion couldn't achieve, you know?
It's just, what do you feel like it's like a net negative trait to have?
Fuck yeah, so negative. There's no upside to
There's
it.
no
Actually.
upside
Zero
to it
upside
at all. You're very conscious of yourself, mate. Have you always been like that, or is that a fucking learned skill?
Yeah, that's interesting. I reckon when you say conscious, I think the learned skill is being aware. Like I've, read a lot of books on personal development and self-awareness, all that stuff. There's definitely a learned, and I practice it. Like I meditate, and there's, guided meditations that take you through these things. So that's probably the learned skill aspect. But yeah, I feel like I have always been like kind of self-conscious and like the way you usually say the term self-conscious, like, oh, am I looking stupid here? Or like always, I don't know. Yeah, I think I've always been like self-conscious in a negative way, maybe when I was younger, but now it really serves me.
Do you consider self-consciousness and self-awareness to be two different things, or do you blend
I was
the
kind
two?
of treating them as the
Treating
same thing.
one
there.
as the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe there is a difference. I don't think I ever had any like pathological self-consciousness where it really harmed me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not an expert on that.
And mate, you've spoken about it a couple of times, like vices in the past and like real big challenges that you've had to overcome. Mate, I don't know if you want to talk to us a little bit about that, how you overcame it, what advice you would give for other people that are going through tough times.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, so biggest vice was the gambling thing, which I've talked about before. I've talked about on a podcast before. Shout out. Yeah. And so, yeah, I was a degenerate gambler, which there's like a definite correlation with ADHD and most addictions.
Mm-hmm.
And I find like salespeople and gambling. So what was the question? How did I handle it?
Yeah, how did it manifest itself? How did you get out of it? What advice would you give to others?
Yeah. So I probably started gambling. So I was like running businesses, not real businesses, but like buying shit at the shops and selling it on Trade Me, which is like eBay or Gumtree in Aussie. When I was like 13 was the first time I did that. And so I started selling stuff online and making money online. And then I stumbled across something with making money online with gambling, like fucking Jesus. I actually remember it was an ebook. Place betting on favorites for profit.
Yeah.
And so I read this ebook around fucking, which I now understand what was going on with that. The person who's referring you to the gambling companies is making money off of the referral link, which is so fucking
cheeky
toxic.
Fucks.
Yeah. But anyway, so I got into that, I reckon maybe like 15, 16. And like using my dad's account is an interesting thing. And then it wasn't really I'm still in school at this time, right? So it wasn't consuming my life. It was funny because dad was all good with it and like supportive. Dad's like both my parents are very open-minded. But my mum's dad was a gambler, like till he died. And so she was always fucking very anti it. Rightly so, it turns out. But dad was like, yeah, on board. But it never was like a massive issue at those young ages. And then I went overseas and I was 17 when I went to England, turned 18 while I was over there, and I was just like sort of free in the world, fucking experimenting with everything. Like anything you can gamble on, pretty much except pokies, I gambled on. Like foreign currency trading, stock trading, leverage, fucking everything. If only I got into crypto. Like I find the shit thing is
The one thing.
Yeah. Shit thing is I like quit gambling right when like my mates who were into crypto. Like, yeah. Anyway. There's a story there for another day probably. But gambling. Yeah, so it was just like a sort of toxic thing in the background. Like I was top salesperson in 2 sales organizations in a row. And at like a young age, 20, 21, 22, I'd made really good money and I had really low expenses. Like I don't really like nice things. Like I don't drive a nice car. Probably had these pants for like 5 years and these are like rough ass shoes. Like I've always just had low expenses, but I never had any money to show for it. And it was kind of, looking back, I'm surprised nobody picked it up. But that's the thing with gambling. You get really good at lying and hiding this addiction because, you know, you don't want to admit it when you're a gambler. And so, yeah, it just like sort of slowed me down a bit until I was about 24 and I had my like, and I loved it. Like I like love playing poker, love Risk. The one type of gambling I would like to do still is poker. But
you just cut it completely.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so anyway, had my like rock bottom moment, which was I fucking gambled away, I don't know, few $1,000s of my like minimal savings down to nothing. My missus was at work. My parents were at my house in Aussie and I'm in the room fucking on blackjack. Crazy. And so, yeah, have that rock bottom. I burn all that money, which was real common. I'd commonly get myself down from like several $1,000s in my bank account to like low hundreds, be like, fuck, how am I going to? And I'd always like fund it with my credit card. Not the gambling until this day, but the gap of like how do we afford food and like cash advances on my credit card for rent and yeah, it's bad. Anyway, this day, thankfully, I fucking gambled it all away. I maxed out my credit card and gambled it all away. And I was like, fuck, there's no hiding this now. I have no money, like no access to funds. Should have fucking spoken with some of these brokers about some second tier lending in hindsight. I could have got a bit deeper. But
I could have gone a bit deeper.
Yeah, so anyway, rock bottom. So I basically couldn't hide it anymore. And so conveniently, my parents were at my house and I was like, I realized at that time, I was like, this is actually good. Like finally I can tell because I've been hiding this thing for 8 years probably.
Yeah.
By then. And it's just been like a thing holding me back my whole life. And I go out. Sorry to fucking tell my life story. How long has this been going for? But I go out, tell my parents, and I'm like, yeah, fucking just like burned away all my money. Yeah, it's been going on for ages, as you probably know, Mum. Like, and I think they both said, or one of them, I think they both were just like, fuck, we're like so sorry. And that like made me sad.
You're right.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry that like we let you, like it's their fault, right? And then they're like, well, you got to tell Sam, who is my wife now, but we'd been together for maybe 3 years by then. And Mum's like, and you have to know that she may not like you've been hiding this from her the whole time. Like she may not want to be with you. Like you have to be open to that being a thing. I was like, yeah, cool. Talk to Sam. I sort of didn't think it would be an issue. We'd had like a brief chat about that gambling was a thing for me, but not the full extent of it. So she knew more than my parents. Anyway, had a chat with Sam about it. And yeah, she was fucking devastated. And like, she's a very logical. Yeah, she's like straighty 180, organized. She would never gamble like $2. She'd feel like she's fucking just lost so much money and it's just completely wasted, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so she was devastated and they all convinced me, Mum, Dad, Sam, you got to go to Gamblers Anonymous. And I was like, I'm not going to fucking Gamblers Anonymous with those like degen gamblers. I'm not a fucking loser. And then I was like, yeah, I've got to go to Gamblers Anonymous, don't I? So anyway, I rock up and I'm like expecting like toothless people, like just like the roughest of the rough people, right? I go in there and there's these 3 people that are like over 60 and have all stopped gambling for more than 10 years, like 110, 120, 130, let's say. And one of them was like, he was in business. And so he was, which was, you know, what my aspirations were. And he goes, yeah, my name's whatever. And I haven't gambled for like 30 years. And like, it just hit me then of like, fuck, what could I achieve if I didn't gamble for 30 years? Like, what could I achieve if I just didn't gamble for 5 years? And so that's right around the time that I started that next business, the business that I just sold.
Yeah, the telco.
Yeah, the telco.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. It's like, well, I'm just going to stop gambling and I'm just going to obsess on the business. And it worked. I kept attending Gamblers Anonymous, and my wife held me accountable. Best mate held me accountable. Family held me accountable.
Fuck, you're a lucky bloke, mate.
Very, very lucky.
Fuck. For someone who's struggling with addiction, what would you tell them?
It's so like shit because it's the same thing everyone tells them, which is like reach out for help. Like, but it's like such a weight off the shoulder. And you know when you're in the like trenches of that you should reach out for help. There's like a constant sort of pull to do it, but then just something stops you. It's like maybe ego or
shame, maybe
ego,
shame,
the stigma or whatever. But there's also like you do enjoy the thing a little bit as well. Like you do enjoy it, and you don't want to acknowledge it because you know that you need to quit it 100%. But yeah, I'd probably just say like there's so much upside on the other side of that. Like once you like cut that thing that's like the weight holding you down, there's so much upside on the other side of it.
Love that, mate.
Yeah.
I appreciate you sharing. And I think for a lot of people that are going to listen to that, maybe that's the 5 minutes that they need to hear, mate, that changes the next 30 years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, hopefully. And that's why I speak about it.
Man, if it helps one person, then fuck you've done a good job to talk about the thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're getting old, mate. You're getting old. We're gonna have to fucking fucking hell. We're fucking hauling through this. Okay. There's so many good questions left.
Go Caleb's one if you can remember it. It was something about scaling
the broker team.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, we've already sort of talked about that.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
What is a natural optimizer personality trait? You said that to me this morning, and I had to get it in there because I genuinely don't know what that is.
So sorry, I don't know if like the natural bit is like the usual words, but like I am an optimizer by default.
Mm-hmm.
And so something I learned from my business coach, Rachel, shout out. She pays me for all the referrals that I give her.
Love it.
Yeah, that's my disclosure. She doesn't. She taught me about there's like sort of 2 different types of people. There's like an optimizer and a satisfizer, which is a weird word, but an optimizer is making a decision like, should I run paid ads? And they'll fucking obsess of it. Or so the example she actually gave me was buying a car, right? An optimizer will do what I did, which is, figure out what their budget is, then try to find the best car, then like fucking fuck around trying to negotiate deals with like 10 different dealers to like, for what? To like save $500 on a $20,000 car that you're going to finance over 5 years when, and so like, so an optimizer like me, I reckon I probably spent 20 hours or more on the car getting project.
Yeah.
For maybe $500 of upside.
Mm-hmm.
And so an optimizer, that's what they'll do by default. They just love optimizing things. And then a satisfizer will be like, okay, I need a car. Oh yeah, it could be one of these 3. Oh, that one's convenient. I'll just ask someone smart with cars if that's a good car, and I'll just buy the car. Done. 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah. So optimizers strength and a weakness, because within a business, you want to optimize systems, processes and whatnot, but it's very easy to get caught optimizing the wrong shit.
Mm.
Yeah, so that's the blessing and the curse of being an optimizer.
It's funny. It's funny because a lot of the time when like if I consider those characteristics and I see this optimizing of the wrong shit, what I typically would replay that back to in a mortgage business is people that continue to refine the systems and the processes and the automations and all this sort of stuff, and they got no deal flow coming through or materially less deal flow than what's required to actually get the system to tilt.
Yeah.
But you don't do that, mate.
Well, I do, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Talk to me. What do you mean?
Oh, I'm constantly drawn to that shit.
So you've got to fight the urges to go in and to play around and to get your, because you're so heavy on the front end, marketing, sales.
Yeah.
You really, but you reckon naturally that's not where you would play, and you're forcing yourself to play there.
No, I love the marketing stuff, but when it's working, like you don't want to change it. So like if you've got an ad that's working, like the worst thing you can do is change it, right? Yeah. And so you just once you've built a system that's working really well, you can't just constantly optimize it. I mean, maybe you should test new creatives. I don't do an exceptional job of that, but yeah, I just love, because I like the technology and I love fixing little things. And there's a dopamine hit every time you do some little new thing. But It's like, we've got me and 2 other brokers in the business. And it's like, what's going to double the business? Is fucking automating it or just getting 3 more brokers? Like I could spend 10,000 hours trying to improve our technology stack, and that wouldn't give me as good as a result as 100 hours hiring brokers. And so, I'm just, conscious of that. I have people, we talk about it a lot in the office, like a lot. And so I'll call Cam, my little cousin. He's young, 25, good with technology, he's an optimizer as well, actually. And I'm constantly having to be like, no, we're not fucking automating that we're not going to try automate that with Claude, get 80% of the way there, and it just be another unfinished fucking AI project.
So easy
just get good at doing deals. And then we'll automate some stuff. Like we'll just pay a consultant who's way better at it than us to do it. And we'll just focus on writing deals. And because of that, we've got a very open communication, very high feedback environment, both ways though. So like when I talk about harshness, when anyone joins the team, I let them know this is a high feedback environment. Like we will give you feedback regularly and consistently. It doesn't mean you're doing well. You probably need to be nervous if you're not getting feedback. Like we give a high feedback environment, and it's both ways. So I say, no, Cam, you can't automate that. And then Cam, he'll challenge me back. He'll be like, wait, is this what you're meant to be doing? Good thing about being my cousin, right? It'd be a bit hard being a young new broker challenging me on that. But it's cool because the precedent is set. Like he challenges me on stuff in front of the team. Mike challenges me on stuff. The offshore team challenges me on stuff. So where's I going with that?
Have you ever read Ray Dalio's
Principles?
Fuck,
I haven't read it.
Bro.
I've tried. I couldn't get into it.
Arguably the best book I've ever read.
Really?
Yeah. And it's right up this alley.
Yeah.
Because we talking about the open thing. I think he calls it radical transparency.
Is that him? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like everyone should know how everyone else is feeling at any given time.
Yeah.
Fuck, I reckon if you can get into it, I reckon you might love that book.
Yeah. I love books. So give it a hoon.
So good. How much of business is won and lost in the mind?
All of it. I'm an extremist, mate. Everything's all of it.
There's got to be some element of doing the work. There's got to be some element of doing the work. But
what decides if you do the work? Yeah, it's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind.
Yeah.
It's all in the mind.
Although in saying that, like Tony Robbins would say, like action precedes state or something. There's like, it's all connected, right? Yeah. I don't know if it's in your mind, but it's all like just one connected thing. But yeah, I reckon mindset, energy management, that sort of stuff is like the most important stuff.
I feel like when you sort of take progressive action, it gives you this feedback loop in your head that reinforces the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
And then it lets you take more action faster and more aggressively. Do you know the old, winners win and losers lose. Do you know how, and it becomes a self-fulfilling cycle?
Yeah.
There's got to be something mental about that. There's got to be something mental about that as well.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh. Okay. We've got a couple of good ones here. What would you do differently if you started the Good Broker fresh today?
Hire the credit manager when you told me to.
Get the fuck out of here.
Honestly, that is it.
Anything else besides that?
Nah, like, yeah, probably not, eh?
Nah, you've smashed it. You've smashed it.
Maybe tried hard to get Mike to start with me. Harder to get Mike to start with me sooner.
More videos, more AI images.
No, get Mike to start sooner, like Mike the broker.
Yeah, that's
to
what I
join
mean.
the team
Yeah, like
earlier.
chase him up harder.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Just send him fucking gifts.
Yeah,
and
just send him
shit.
photos of him next to me in my little poolside cabana that I worked in for the first 6 months.
You got a young family, mate, and a growing family. You're a dad, you're a husband. How have you juggled scaling a business and raising a family?
It's been way easier than the last business.
Really?
Well, the capital, right? And the experience.
Yes.
And the coach. Like, I
Yes.
didn't have a coach for the first 4 or 5 years in my last business.
Mhm.
And I didn't know what I was doing. I had not built a team. Like, we've got that team to like a team of 14. The hardest thing in business, like when you ask me about learning curve, the hardest thing is just the scaling of the team and the people, I think.
Mhm.
And so I don't have those challenges this time. There was learning, writing business. This is good business because you make some upfront comm and you build some enterprise value. So how have I juggled it? Me and my wife work together. We get people to help us if we need people to help us with things. It hasn't really been a juggle, eh? Like, yeah, it's almost like a driver.
I fucking love that, mate. Normally when I ask somebody that question, they just say terribly, which is understandable. Do you know what I mean? It is hard to do, but you reckon coming off the back of all the hard work over the pre-10 years has set you up where the next 10 years is easier, for lack of a better term,
Yeah.
to do the two things well.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
Love.
Pretty lucky. Definitely lucky.
What's the future look like for the Good Broker?
TGB. What does the future look like? In what way?
Where do you see it headed?
Like, are we continuing in mortgages or what?
Well, are you going to go the broker team out?
Broker team.
Broker team. That's the next thing, is building up a team of brokers.
Yeah. Oh, so we're going to get a couple more credit people to help me and Mike, and then scale out the broker team and add investment advice. We are not going to add insurance advice. You're
not going to do insurance.
No, we're going to keep referring that out and just not biting off more than we can chew, and then just get as many brokers as make sense in the system like that. To me, I am not a broker anymore. I'm building a business that brokers can plug into.
100%. You're definitely at that point. The Kiwi Saver that you're talking about, the investment advice, big thing over here in New Zealand to have brokers do Kiwi Saver. Which makes a ton of sense. Dedicated guys to do that sort of stuff. You're not going to roll it into the brokers doing it.
I think we'll see. We'll play it by ear. But one of the people who I harass regularly about joining the team does both currently.
Yeah.
And so if you're watching, I'll try to get them to join, and they'll pilot that, and
Even if the brokers do the salesman element of it, and there's a back end office administration that takes care of it all to get it all done in the back end.
It's way less admin intensive than
in Oz.
Than the mortgage advice.
Yeah, really.
It's like same upfront, same like needing to understand the client's goals, position, etc. That's all the same. But like in mortgages, once the client says yes, the work is just starting.
You've got 100%.
So much work to do after that, packaging it up, sending it to the bank, dealing with the bank, explaining to the client what conditions mean, all those things. With this, it's like, this is the outcome that's right for you based on what you've told me about your goals. Do you want to do it? Yes. Cool. Sign this. And then the provider takes over the rest. And it's just, it's really, as far as I understand, I've not actually done the admin side of that. We just refer that at the moment as well. But yeah, from everyone I speak to, it's much lower admin.
That'd be like flicking it to the bank and getting them to do the approval process themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they wouldn't get approved though.
I get it. Well, I get the investment guys are taking money, and the banks are lending money, so they probably have to. They have to be a little bit more stricter. A little bit more stricter. All right. Last question, and I ask everybody this one: what piece of advice would you give to 8-year-old Nathan?
That's right. I knew you were going to ask this, and I thought I should think of something, but I didn't. What piece of advice would I give? Oh, okay. So I don't know exactly how I would say it, but I know what the principle would be, which is like just to learn to play the long game. Like, life's really long. It's not short term. Play the long game. And I don't know how you communicate that to an 8-year-old. That's why I don't know exactly what I'd say to them. But that's the principle I would want to get them to learn.
How good. Mate, we smashed it. Yep. What did we
90 minutes.
88 minutes. That's all right, eh? It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Went in a flash.
Mate. Thank you very much.
Thanks
I appreciate
for having
you coming on. I appreciate you opening everything up. Ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Morgan French, the good broker. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks for next fortnight's episode.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Cheers.